This video is sponsored by Aura. Logan Paul, IShowSpeed, FaZe Banks, Tana Mongeau, Dillon Danis, Kim Kardashian, Adin Ross are just a few influencers who lied to their supporters using crypto scams. What was their common goal? Well, you guessed it, money. So today, we're taking a look at every single influencer who promoted a crypto scam. IShowSpeed, real name Darren Watkins Jr., who got a first-hand lesson on how bad it can get when you try to scam your audience through crypto. And before we get into the scam, I do have to say, I do respect this dude's grit just because of how quickly he was able to grow his channel. He went from 5,500 subscribers to over 20 million subs in just about 4 years. He also won the 2023 Variety Streamer of the Year award and is rumored to have gained over 1 million followers in a single day in 2021. Those are insane numbers, and of course he's still killing it in the streaming genre. Anyway, achievements aside, around November 2022, IShowSpeed got tangled in a pump and dump crypto scheme that almost ruined his career. I believe the thing that angered his fans the most was the live stream, which was supposed to be a meetup with Cristiano Ronaldo and a PS5 giveaway, but it turned out to be the presentation of a fake Cristiano Ronaldo and definitely the promotion of a fake crypto project. I mean, the fake Cristiano Ronaldo had on a Buy Paradox crypto coin t-shirt. Now, the fans started throwing jabs in the live chat, saying the coin was a scam and calling IShowSpeed a sellout. Of course, it made him angry that some of his fans thought of him that way, a sellout. As he lost control of the situation, he muted himself to figure out what to do next. However, he forgot the mic was on and people could make out what he was saying in the background. He asks, "So what do I do now?"
So what do I do now? Bro, they're spending LCM. What?
And someone else says, "We have no mods in the chat." When he comes back on, he says mods are in the chat and that people will not see any more of the scam messages. He then says something along the lines of, "No, I'm not gonna say that. Then it's gonna be obvious, bro." In response to something that one of the Paradox team guys says to him in the background.
You know what I'm doing, bro? No. I'm not gonna say that because then it's gonna be obvious, bro. Just trust me, bro.
Clearly, they were trying to hide the fact that all of this was just a scam. Now, the livestream moments weren't the only thing part of evidence. There was more to it. My investigation into Paradox's features led me to the conclusion that it is an impossibly complex web of features that an average user would never really understand. I went through their white paper, and there's really no easy way to connect everything they had going on, and coffeezilla had the same conclusion on it. Anyway, following the bot stream, IShowSpeed really had a difficult time fending off the scammer tag, and was visibly annoyed when his brand would be associated with it.
Stop spamming. I'm not a scammer, bro. Why do they keep spamming? Bro, I'm not a scammer, dog. I made a little mistake, you know, that I wish I never did, but I'm not a scammer, bro.
He apologized, saying, "I made a little mistake that I wish I never did, but I'm not a scammer." I also have to add that, of course, there was more to the story, including the Paradox founder Amio Teleo threatening the YouTuber coffeezilla with physical violence. But the bottom line is that IShowSpeed wrongly used his influence to sell out his fans, and the hope is that he learned from that failure. Crypto scams, crypto scams, crypto scams. Guess what? You're next. Oh, Tuv, how do you know that I'm next? Because you're not being safe on the internet, which is why I'm honored to introduce today's sponsor, Aura. Smart, simple online safety. Your information is on the internet? AI. Well, you're wrong. It is. Data brokers are making a fortune off selling your information to robocallers, spammers, and other people you don't want knowing your information. Aura can identify data brokers exposing your info and submit opt-out requests on your behalf. Brokers are actually legally required to remove your information if you request them to, but they make it super difficult to navigate. But hey, let Aura handle it for you. Aura also does so much more to protect you and your family from online threats you can't see. It's really easy to set up. I mean, really easy. You don't have to download different apps in order to get, and stay with me here, parental controls, antivirus, VPN, password management, identity theft insurance, and more. You get everything at one affordable price. You can either let people exploit you and make money off your information on the internet, or you can go to aura.com/tuv. With this link, you'll be able to start a 2-week free trial, and it's available right there in the description. Thank you, Aura, for sponsoring this video, and now let's head on to every single influencer who promoted a crypto scam. Logan Paul, who, in case you didn't know, was ranked top among the most well-known influencers in 2021, even ahead of PewDiePie and Mr. Beast. Now, Logan and other influential figures, as you will see later in this video, decided to use his fame and capitalize on the 2021 cryptocurrency craze. For context, 2021 was a real wild year in the terms of crypto. I mean, it's the year when Tesla invested in Bitcoin, and NFTs sold for $69.3 million, meme coins became a thing, Coinbase got into NASDAQ, and even El Salvador decided to make Bitcoin legal tender. You can therefore see why Logan wanted to take part in this market. His strategy: Well, he came up with CryptoZoo, a game, he didn't want to call it a project, in which you could, quote, hatch and breed NFT animals that would gain value over time. In his podcast, which had over 4 million subscribers back then, he described the game in several interesting phases, including kids are addicted to it, referring to the developer's kids since the game was still in development. Quote, a fantastic bonding experience for families, and it's a really fun game that makes you money. Except this game was never any of those things. In fact, it was worse by miles because unlike a normal game, it left a trail of destruction that haunts Logan until this day. How so? Well, as expected, when an influential person like him announces a project, a lot of people get wind of it and without thinking twice, hop on board. Actually, Taouk, one of the investors from the UK, used this very logic when deciding to join in. He not only used his 38,000 quid of earnings from other projects, but also borrowed some more to get into CryptoZoo. He really thought that due to Logan's popularity, the value of the project was due to explode. Talking to the Times magazine, Taouk said, I was brainwashed. I was like, Logan Paul is a trustworthy guy. He makes good content and kind of leads the space. Anyway, after all that hype, CryptoZoo failed terribly and left Logan with a lawsuit that later gained a class action status. All along, he tried avoiding responsibility by saying that his involvement was, quote, super minimal. Of course, this wasn't true as he had been largely responsible for promoting it. The lawsuit actually offers some damning insights that are hard for him to deny. For example, it states, quote, unbeknownst to the customers, the game did not work or never existed, and the defendants manipulated the digital currency market for Zoo tokens to their advantage, end quote. Even more, it adds that they decided to abandon the game creation and just take off with the funds instead. The exact words being that they made a, quote, business decision to forego an expensive and time-consuming process to create a functional CryptoZoo game or support it. The proceedings forced Logan to issue a public response where he first apologized to CoffeeZilla, the YouTuber that outed him and his scam, and second, promised to refund the victims at least $1.8 million. He also added that he would relinquish his stake in the company.
CoffeeZilla is not a criminal. I called him, I apologized. My initial response to his series was that of fire, an ego, flair, whatever it is, pride. I'm a fighter at heart, and I was defensive because I know I never scammed anyone with this project. I never made any money, never sold any tokens, and I only had the best intentions going in. So I'd like to announce my 3-step plan moving forward. Step 1, Jeff and I are going to burn our Zoo tokens so we have no financial upside in the game, and it will add value to holder tokens. Step 2, we want to offer a rewards program for players who are disappointed in the status of the game. So essentially, you're going to be able to burn your base egg or your base animal for the mint price, which was 0.1 ETH or the equivalent in BNB. I am personally committing 1,000 ETH to this, which is about $1.3 million right now for players who want to get out. And then step 3, obviously finish and deliver the game as outlined in the white paper by completing the egg bridge from ETH to BSC for base animals and base eggs, completing the marketplace, and obviously completing the releasing your animals into the wild to accrue your yield function. To say I am disappointed in how this was handled internally is an understatement. There's a full internal investigation going on along with an audit, and we are going to pursue full legal action for whomever needs to be held accountable. If any money is recovered in the process, it'll go right to the community. My sole obligation is to my supporters, and I know this video is long overdue. Here it is. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize.
Interestingly though, he made those promises on January of 2023, and as of the most recent updates, he has not refunded any of the victims. We are yet to see what comes of that promise. I also have to add that unfortunately, CryptoZoo is not the only crypto scam that Logan Paul has promoted. After CryptoZoo came Liquid Marketplace, which he promoted as a platform that allows fractional ownership of collectibles, NFTs, Pokemon cards, sports trading cards, etc.
Hey there, impulsive viewer. This is not your typical ad. It's not quite an ad, but it's a reminder that I am listing my one-of-one PSA 10 Pikachu Illustrator on Liquid Marketplace. So Liquid Marketplace is the platform that I co-founded that fractionalizes ownership of top-tier assets.
But just like CryptoZoo, his role at Liquid has dwindled, with one of the active participants in the project noting, "So naive and trusted all of you that we were going to the moon together." There's also the Dink Doink meme coin that he hyped up by saying he was all in because it was just stupid. Only later did it come out that he was manipulating his audience. He already had a lot of coins in the project before its public launch. Its creator was his roommate, and he played a role in its creation process. Logan told Forbes he is a work in progress. Yup, a work in progress that is a master manipulator and refuses to ever take full responsibility. Kim Kardashian. The crypto craze had almost everyone in a chokehold, and I mean almost everyone, because even celebrities that you wouldn't expect to know anything about tokens, the blockchain, and all of that stuff were deeply involved in promoting crypto scams to their audience. Well, like what celebrity, for example? Kim Kardashian. How was she involved? In June 2021, at the height of crypto, Kim promoted Ethereum Max tokens through an Instagram story. She wrote, "Are you guys into crypto? This is not advice, but sharing what my friends just told me about Ethereum Max token." She then added some more info, as you can see in the post, and then, and this one is important, she placed the hashtag ad at the end of the post. We'll come back to that. First, however, just like the other cases that we've covered so far, a key problem with a celebrity promoting crypto is the likelihood that they're setting up their audience to be scammed. Kim, for instance, had an audience of 330 million Instagram followers at that time. It's 99% possible that she set up her audience for a rug pull. Why? Well, because Ethereum Max had the same fate as many other tokens. It wasn't special. If you look at the CoinMarketCap price history, the token is now worthless. And the only time it peaked in value was when Kim promoted it in 2021. Actually, within days of her promoting it, it lost almost all of its value. Now, going back to the hashtag ad, you might not know this, but the Federal Trading Commission, FTC, has the requirement that social media influencers need to be clear when they are posting advertisements on their accounts. FTC, for example, recommends adding advertisement, ad, or sponsored very visibly in the advert. Just like how this video had a sponsor, I would be fined if I didn't tell you guys it was a sponsor. But luckily, YouTube has that little thing where like it tells you at the beginning of the video. I just click that checkbox. But yeah, it's a serious thing, you know? No one wants to lie to the audience and be like, "Oh, well, I just have this product on my own. I'm doing free promo." It's like, no, you're not. This is why Kim Kardashian had that hashtag ad at the end of her Ethereum Max post. However, what she might have not known was that crypto tokens are tradable assets and are classified under the securities category. This means that they require much more disclosure around their promotion than regular products. It should thus not come to a shock to you that on October 2nd, 2022, in a news release, the Securities and Exchange Commission chair, Gary Gensler, said, "Ms. Kardashian's case also serves as a reminder to celebrities that the law requires them to disclose to the public when and how much they are paid to promote investing in securities." This was after fining Kim a whopping $1.26 million for the Ethereum Max Instagram story. While she disclosed that it was an advert, according to the CEC, she had to include how much she was paid. And how much was she paid exactly? Forbes reported that she got an estimated $250,000 for one Instagram story, and that the so-called friends was just the cryptocurrency behind it. I mean, she's already a multimillionaire. I just don't know why she took this deal. Like, stupid. That's all I gotta say for that one. Let's head on to the next one. Dillon Danis. For this next case focusing on Dillon Danis, the facts make it a situation where both the good guy and the bad guy are bad. This will make sense in a few, but first, who is Dillon Danis? Well, the short of it is that he's a retired mixed martial artist who's famous for cage fights. Well, he sort of thrives off of controversy, with even Dana White, the CEO of the UFC, describing him as, "Every time he's around, shit's going down. We can't have that stuff going on here." Now, Dillon, besides the MMA stuff, got some popularity on Twitter for exposing the crypto scams, the good guy way, and thus making himself seem like a legitimate source for such information. This charade was, however, torn apart by a CoffeeZilla investigation. By the way, if it wasn't obvious, a lot of my sources is CoffeeZilla, so make sure to go watch all of his videos. Make sure to subscribe to him. If you don't, you're lame. But yeah, let's continue. CoffeeZilla sought to prove that indeed Dillon was scamming people by pretending to be the good guy. The specific reference to his actions dates back to December 2022 when he called out Logan Paul for the CryptoZoo scam. Yes, the one we just talked about. His tweet read, "Damn, Logan Paul's a scumbag. Feel bad for everyone he scammed." Unfortunately for him, people had been watching him and there was evidence that he had been scamming people as well. He was exposed via this tweet by ZachXBT, which had screenshots of him hyping up projects as early as January 2022 that ended up being pump and dump schemes. And further investigations found that he promoted a lot of other similar projects and ended up deleting the tweets afterwards. And he couldn't really escape the allegation about his past because CoffeeZilla set up bait for him to promote a made-up project and he fell for it. Coffee reached out to Dillon via a proxy, he responded, then Dillon was fooled with a white paper exactly like the one from CryptoZoo. He agreed to a price and terms and did the promotional tweet. Now, the very interesting thing here is that Dillon never read any of the white papers or even promotional terms. Absolutely zero diligence. Why? Well, because the whole time he was tricked by Coffee to promote a project similar in nature to what he called out Logan Paul for. And not only that, he tweeted a link to a website that detailed all his previous scams despite this intention being clearly stated in the contract terms. After tweeting about this fake NFT project, Dillon was asked about the whole thing and his response was that CoffeeZilla changed up the website on him. The damning tweet now remains remains archived on the same website. Now the story could end there, but while researching it, I found this very recent tweet where Dillon is calling out Logan Paul for not honoring his refund pledges to CryptoZoo's investors. There's also a video interview where he says Logan is, quote, not a good guy. It's just very funny that his actions are extremely similar when it comes to scamming his audience, and he's trying to play the good guy card. That's really all I have to say about that one. Let's head on to the next one. Save the kids. The two crypto scams we've just talked about are both from 2021, and so is this next one. Yeah, as I said in the beginning, 2021 was a wild crypto year. Anyway, named Save the Kids, a title that Time magazine says made it look altruistic and honorable, this coin became one of the biggest, or maybe the biggest, influencer crypto scam. The idea behind it, as suggested, was noble. It wanted to, quote, redistribute wealth to both hodlers and charities, hodlers being longtime coin holders. How? Well, for every transaction, a percentage of the fee would go to a Binance-operated charity wallet and of course be used to help kids out there. That way everyone wins. They're supporting a good cause and making money while at it. The problem though is that the coin turned out to be just another classic tale of pump and dump. Now as we look at how it came crashing down, it's important to understand why it was wildly popular. And the answer, just like the previous two cases, influencers promoting the coin. In particular, Save the Kids was largely promoted by RiceGum, a popular streamer, and 4 influencers from FaZe Clan. For those new to it, FaZe Clan is a gaming and influencer organization that consists of young influencers with a combined fan base of over 510 million hyper-engaged followers across different social platforms. That's actually how they describe themselves on their website. Anyway, these 4 were Kay, Jarvis, Tico, and Nikon. And there was also a guy named Sam Pepper. I'll try summarizing the roles without boring you with too many details. So primarily, Save the Kids was a brainchild of Kay and Sam Pepper. Kay, as I've already stated, was a member of FaZe. Sam, on the other hand, was FaZe's head of content. Interestingly, as the coin collapsed, Kay threw Sam under the bus, blaming him for what happened. He said, "I had no ill intention promoting any crypto altcoins. I honestly and naively thought we all had a chance to win, which just wasn't the case." In a video release, Kay alleged that Sam made all the decisions and that if it weren't for him, he, Kay, would never have gotten entangled with crypto in the first place. However, all of this was heavily contested, as it turns out, through insanely good investigative work by coffeezilla, that Kay not only had crypto dealings before that incident, but was also personally involved in the rug pull. In fact, he dumped his coins 30 minutes before Sam, and this rug pull was just within 24 hours of the coin's launch. The next person, Jarvis, also promoted the coin and sold 2/3 of his wallet within days of its launch. The other one was Tico, who, while initially accused of being part of the scheme, was proven innocent as he never sold his tokens. He even bought more. Lastly, Nikon and RiceGum fall in the same bundle as Jarvis. As coffeezilla put it, they did not have prior evidence of malicious intent behind the crypto project, but nevertheless dumped their Save the Kids tokens at their earliest convenience. Now, another interesting bit for this crypto is that there were some measures like the anti-whale mechanism meant to protect small investors. This meant that whales, those with massive tokens like K6.2 million, could not sell more than 0.1% of their supply per minute. The rules were also that no whale could sell off within 5 days of launch. All of these were broken. The code was changed just minutes before to allow them to happen. Anyway, the aftermath was that Kay got kicked from FaZe, while Jarvis, Tico, and Nikon got suspended. Later, Kay admitted that beyond losing $37,000 directly in the project, the scandal cost him about $500,000 due to the refunds that he had to make. Hopefully, they all learned their lesson. Adin Ross. Remember the Jake Paul scams we just talked about? Well, one of them, specifically the MILF coin, brought an equally bad reputation for Adin Ross. And before we get into it, I'll give you a quick summary on who Adin is. He's a very popular streamer, popular for his NBA 2K and GTA content, also his just chatting stuff. He started streaming on Twitch, where he had a massive audience with about 4.1 million followers as of June 2021, when, you know, the crypto stuff was going down. Long story short, he has a huge fan base, he got banned from Twitch, and he now streams on kick.com. And if I'm mentioning Kick, I gotta do some self-promo hashtag ad here that I also stream on Kick, so make sure to catch my streams over there. If you're wondering why I stream on Kick and not Twitch, it's because I just don't like Twitch. I've made a bunch of videos talking bad about Twitch, and I have my reasons to just not like Twitch. I mean, especially with them always changing their rules, and you know what, I'm not gonna get into it, but I don't like Twitch. I will say that when you go to kick.com, just make sure to check the box where you're not shown any gambling stuff, because I'm not trying to promote gambling to you guys, I know. Anyway, he was doing extremely well and had a few braggings right up his sleeve. Now, this shiny side of Adin quickly faded once he boarded the crypto train. On May 27th, 2021, he tweeted about a giveaway for MILF token. The tweet was simple. He would give away $10,000 to a random person who would retweet his tweet and have any amount in their MILF token wallet address. Still, in May, he also did a live stream to promote the coin. Apparently, during the live stream, he was, quote, converting hundreds of dollars into the cryptocurrency. Now, the problem with this, as you can guess, is that the coin was bound for the inevitable pump and dump fate. And personally, for me, the worst part of the story is how he just laughs it off and is aware that he scammed his fans.
Chat, by the way, that MILF token shit I did a while back, I already told you guys don't buy that shit. I got paid a bag to do that shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. I hope none of you guys actually bought it.
Of course, this angered a lot of his fans and he got called out for hypocrisy. The hypocrisy being in how he tried to play off that he had never promoted any scams, even though doing this just 2 months prior. Later, when confronted, he also denied that the MILF coin was a pump and dump and tried arguing that because he promoted it horribly that it was fine. It's already scummy to scam your audience, but I think it's even scummier to laugh at them. Jake Paul. What's worse than one brother pulling a crypto scam? Well, two brothers pulling a crypto scam. And yes, I'm referring to Logan Paul and Jake Paul. We've already gone over a summary of the Logan Paul crypto zoo mess, so now let's focus on Jake. And starting us off is an undeniable fact that Jake is far worse than Logan in these scams. Why? Because he has promoted more projects with a combined $2 million in promotional earnings. I'm talking about Sacred Devils NFT, he got paid $139,000 to promote it, Apes in Space, which was an obvious rug pull, The Bored Bunny, where investors lost a little over $21 million in a slow rug pull, Orbit Crypto, which linked to a freaking Telegram channel, the 6.3 million Anamoon rug pull, where founders vanished with the cash and deleted their website and Twitter accounts, then Yummy, which was supposed to be a charity-focused project, then came MILF Token, and the list keeps going on. I mean, he seemed to do all of it, from coins to NFTs to metaverse promotions. Just that his brother's crypto zoo reputation overshadows all of this. They're both scammers. At one point, he even came up with his own project, and believe it or not, named it Stick Dicks. He managed to do a $1.5 million rug pull on it. Coffee actually found that Jake made around $2 million from these scams. The breakdown, which is also shared by Dexerto, shows that the least amount he made was from MILF Token, $50,000, and that the most was from Stick Dicks, $1.56 million. Now, unlike his brother, Jake didn't walk away scot-free from this. The law caught up with him in March 2023 for promoting the Tronix tokens back in 2021 in exchange for crypto assets worth $25,000. He was fined $400,000. His accomplices, Lindsay Lohan, Kendra Lust, Lil Yachty, Neo, and Akon also paid an equivalent amount. Turns out that the Securities Exchange Commission didn't like that the founders were manipulating the Tronix and BitTorrent markets via wash trading, faking market activity, and doing so with the help of celebrities, and not disclosing that these celebrities were paid actors. Now, given that Jake Paul pivoted to boxing, some people, like this YouTuber, have wondered if his role in the crypto scams might suggest that he's still the same terrible person with just updated tactics. FaZe Banks. I hope by this point you realize that all these scams were actually connected in the sense that the same coin could involve multiple influencers. For example, the Save the Kids token had blowback on FaZe Banks' reputation. He even went on Twitter to defend himself, saying that he had zero knowledge of Save the Kids, and he clarified that the FaZe Clan members involved with it acted on their own behalf. Part of this tweet read, "I had zero involvement or knowledge of this Save the Kids garbage, and neither did FaZe Clan." Now, we already talked about Save the Kids, and we're not going to go back into that. What got me interested was that Banks had a scam of his own that he was fighting off. This was in 2021 when he promoted an altcoin called Banks Social, and almost predictably, the coin rose in value right after his promotion and then promptly plummeted. In the promotional tweet, he did a giveaway of $10,000 to a random person who retweeted, liked the tweet, and followed Banks Social. He added that Banks Social was a project that he, quote, with heavily and truly believed was the next one to pop. He then ended his tweet with "not financial advice, lol." Now, even without going into more details, this style of promotion, which is what we just saw with Adin, almost predicts what's gonna happen next. And indeed, the altcoin became a pump and dump story. The interesting bit is that Banks refused to accept responsibility for promoting a scam, saying, "To suggest I would ever knowingly scam my audience for a quick buck is unfair and simply not true." Why would he say that? Well, his defense was that he was clear to his followers that they should have invested if they could afford to lose, and that he hadn't even sold a single dollar from what he had made in the altcoin. Another interesting part is that Banks Social, in an interview with Mashable, contradicted his story. Banks Social CEO said that FaZe Banks and those who heeded his promotion pumped and dumped the coin. This made Banks Social a victim as well. The CEO also said that they hired Banks to get more social media brand engagement and awareness, only to be left to clean a mess they didn't anticipate. Also, apparently, Banks didn't hold up his end of the deal with Banks Social, as the CEO said. "It's very odd that he was supposed to do several posts as part of our deal, and then he cited some loophole that he had that says if the token doesn't perform to a certain point, it's not going to have any promotion anymore." Overall, this whole thing didn't look good for Banks, as Mashable even pointed out that his now deleted promotional tweets for Banks Social were not complying with FTC standards, as he never clearly disclosed his relationship with the company. Also, the fact that K replied, "I'm 2x already" on that promotional tweet is so damning to the pump and dump intent. Tana Mongeau. Next on our list is Tana Mongeau, whose interaction with crypto was just as horrible or maybe even worse. It actually could be worse because similar to the Save the Kids one, this was for a good cause and it was called Tits Coin. This altcoin was described on their Instagram as the first coin designed to find a cure for breast cancer once and for all. Now, Mashable claims that between her TikTok and Instagram, she reached over 11 million followers with the marketing. In an Instagram story posted on April 30th, 2021, she said, "Can you believe my ownership in Tits Coin just bought me this beautiful Rolls Royce?" She showed the starlight ceiling of the Rolls Royce and added, "Get yours now."
You believe my ownership in Tits Coin just bought me this beautiful Rolls Royce? Get yours now.
On May 1st, she doubled down with this TikTok video which she captioned, "I just got a lot of this new crypto coin called Tits, which is helping fight cancer and doing amazing work. Go to titscoin.io, #ad." Interestingly, most of the comments on that TikTok video don't acknowledge what she's promoting. Most talk of her dancing, her bathing suit, and of course there are those thirsting after her. That same day, she also did an Instagram post about the coin calling her followers to join in, quote, "raising awareness for breast cancer." Now, interestingly, based on Mashable's article in June 2021, if anyone had invested $100 on the day Mongeau claimed her Tits Coin investment resulted in the purchase of a Rolls Royce, they would have ended up with approximately $2.50 a month later. Yep, this was just another one of the many rug pulls in the crypto industry. Ice Poseidon. Last on our list is Ice Poseidon, a streamer who had the guts to take off with his fans $500,000 in a pretty bold crypto scam that he orchestrated. First off though, who is Ice Poseidon? Well, his real name is Paul Danino. Ice has been a popular live streamer for a good while and has made sure his name remains on headlines with almost unending controversies. For instance, he got banned on Twitch after being swatted, someone called in a bomb threat under his name, got arrested in Thailand for breaking their anti-porn laws, and just recently got arrested for broadcasting a sex worker that he and Sam Pepper hired. Now, in July of 2021, Ice started his own cryptocurrency that he called CX Coin. The goal of CX Coin was to allow streamers to receive support. Unfortunately, and also allegedly by his admission before the coin had even materialized, the whole thing ended up being a pump and dump scheme. The whole time he had the intention of scamming his followers by removing funds from the liquidity pool and withdrawing from the pre-sale and marketing wallet. All of this was uncovered by our GOAT, CoffeeZilla, where Ice himself admitted that he did take the money but was not going to return it as he was, quote, looking out for himself.
You want to keep the money that's not yours, that you took from the project, even though you failed to deliver.
I mean, I'm not really sure what you want me to say, but yeah.
I'm trying to get you to return the money because it's 100% still available and you could do that.
If you want the answer, yeah, I could give the money back. It is within my power, but I'm gonna look out for myself and not do that.
In a Twitter thread by CoffeeZilla, it was apparent that Ice abandoned the project just after 2 weeks of work, but was telling his investors that he had marketed it to that it was a long-term project. He also claimed that of the $500,000, he personally took off with $300,000 and spent the remaining $200,000 paying the developers. When he was confronted with the fact that he was stealing money, his response was that this was, quote, a shitty way to put it. Eventually, realizing that he would be outed, he promised to refund $155,000 that he took from the liquidity pool, but only ended up returning about $40,000. What I actually find insane about this whole thing was that Ice actually tried blaming his fans, saying part of the responsibility is on them as well for putting too much emotion into it.
They're, like, part of the responsibility is on them as well for being, you know, putting too much emotion into it.
It's unclear whether he found it in his tiny little heart to refund the victims. Well, that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new. You don't have to, but that would be pretty cool. And I also want to tell you guys that I do have a second channel where we have a podcast over there. We have 2 guests so far. We've had Jake Weber and we've also had Johnny Gilbert. So if those are some guests that interest you, make sure to go check out my podcast. Also, make sure to get yourself some slippers at earldoesn'texist.com. They are $15 now. They are half off due to the Christmas season. I don't know exactly when the deal will go away, so just make sure to buy them now if you want. #ad. Oh, and by the way, this is my last video with my beard this gross. I know it looked like a hobo. Look at that. But yeah, it's my last video with it. So, you know, I would appreciate if you guys could comment. I'm gonna miss your beard. It was very masculine, very hot of you, Tuv. But anyway, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys next time I upload.